Good afternoon, and welcome again for this lecture of electronics in which we were studying sequential circuits, right? And we have almost completed the counter circuit using flip-flops. So we were able to know how the counters are going to count the bits, right? They are actually counting the pulses, and accordingly we can design a digital clock using that clock pulses. Okay, so let us start today we are going to shift to the third unit of that, which we call it as the registers. Okay, I guess my screen is visible to you, right? So yeah, let me introduce myself Dr. ND Mishram, head and associate professor, Department of Electronics, Mathura Das Mohta College of Science, Nagpur, Maharashtra. And today we are going to study the digital registers, which are again made up of the flip flops, the sequential circuits that we are using, right? So I will just start with that. They are similar to the counters. The circuit diagram remains the same actually, just a slight changes in that. Okay, so that is what we are going to do today. So let us see what we are going to cover in this today's topic. The overview of shift registers, characteristics of shift registers, then serial parallel data conversion. These are the basic, say, serial and parallel data conversion is the basic application of the shift registers or the flip flops. Then serial load shift registers, we are having, okay, we are having that. Then parallel load shift register will study all those things. Then recirculating shift registers, those are ring counters and Johnson counter. Then using the 74194 shift register IC, that is actually the shift registers IC, right? So, and digital roulette game will try to do that. And last one is the troubleshooting hints. So this much what we are expecting today to complete. So that all the I will be just touching the basics of it so that the basic fundamentals should be cleared of you as far as exams are concerned. A shift register. What is a shift register actually? A shift register is again a sequential logic device made up of flip-flops that allows parallel or a serial loading and serial or parallel outputs as well as shifting bit by bit. Right? So they are going to shift the data. So registers are actually meant as a memory device and which are capable of transferring the data. Either it is serially or either we put it in the parallel fashion, right? And is in the similar pattern, either we take the data serially or we take the data parallelly, right? So we will discuss this how what I mean to say exactly. I will let you know, right? So while seeing your diagrams, you will be able to see. So the common tasks of shift registers are serial parallel data conversion, then we are having UART, Universal Asynchronous Receiver and Transmitter. This is UART, which is connected to the backside of the computers, right? So that is one. Then we are having time delay, which is actually nothing but the Johnson or a ring counter. Okay, and we are having ring counters and twisted ring counter, that is Johnson counter, and these flip flops are used as the memory device. Okay, so this is the complete applications of shift registers that we are used in digital systems as far as digital electronics are concerned, and they are the ones who are responsible for storing the data, for giving the data, and for transferring the data from one point to the other. Okay, so let us start with that. Characteristics of shift registers, number of bits. Now, how many bits you want? So accordingly, we'll have that shift register. If I say that I want a 4-bit parallel in parallel out shift register, so we have to specify how much bit you require. So it comes in 4-bit or 8-bit accordingly, etc. Then we are having a loading serial or parallel. So how the data is being given input to the shift register. That might be serially, that might be parallelly. Direct data can be given. So we are having this asynchronous or synchronous. Then the common modes of operations are parallel load, shift right, serial load, then shift left, that is serial load again, hold and clear. So these are some of the operations, common operations that are being uh, the characteristics of shift registers. And last one is the recirculating or non-recirculating type of shift register. So this all comes under the sequential circuits or the shift register part. Okay, serial and parallel data conversions. Now, shift registers can be used to convert from serial to parallel or reverse from parallel to serial. So they can be used in both the fashions. It can convert a serial data into parallel. Similarly, on vice versa, it can convert a parallel data into a serial one, or say both serial in, serial out, or parallel in, parallel out. So the data is given parallelly and the data is also taken parallelly. Okay, that can be done. So what I actually mean is, if I say that this is a 8-bit shift register, which implies that it is having 8 flip-flops connected. That might be JKMS flip-flop or say D flip-flops in that case, because data flip-flops contains only one input, right? So D flip-flop. I guess you remember, I recall that what is a D flip flop. So here I need to show you that we are having 8-bit shift register, and when we call it as serial in and serial out, implies that the data is given serially bit by bit, and the output is taken in similar fashion bit by bit. Right. So as it is giving you the output, that is, it will first give you this one, then it will shift this one, then it will give this one, and accordingly, uh, as per the clock pulses proceed, the data will be taken inside the flip-flops, inside the shift register, and accordingly, the data will be taken outside or given outside through the last flip-flop which is connected over. So this concept is actually called as serial in, serial out shift register, right? So this is a 8-bit because we are having 8 flip-flops connected over here, or 8 bits of data is supposed to be transferred, right? So we have the serial in, serial out type of a shift register. Therefore, where we use this shift register, you might have seen the um, pen drives, right? So pen drive is having a universal port that is being input. So it is having only four terminals. One is for this data, serial in, serial data. Second one is ground. Third one is positive, and fourth one is again the ground of the power supply, right? So these are the simplest examples where we use in routine. What is that? So serial in data and serial out, but the microprocessor does not understand the serial data. Microprocessor, or say microcontroller, understands only the parallel data. So it requires all these bits parallelly. Then only it is going to process that data. So we require this. This is the first example. We call it as CISO, serial in, serial out shift register. The data is given serially and the data is taken serially, right? So therefore it is called as serial in, serial out. Will show you the circuit diagram. Now this is the concept of serial in, parallel out. So same case is over there. Again, we are having 8-bit shift register where we are expecting the data is to be given serially. So if all the data is being passed through all the flip-flops, so 8 data can be taken out by their outputs through their outputs at 8 parallel data. So this is called as serial in, parallel out. SI, uh, SIPO, SIPO, serial in, parallel out. First one was called as serial in, serial out, CISO. Serial in, serial out. This is serial in, parallel out, right? So these are again 8 flip-flops. The data is given to the first flip-flop, and by using the clock pulses, it has been shifted through all the flip-flops. And at the end of the 8th pulse, this data can be taken parallelly. Okay, so that is called as a serial in parallel. As I told you, that the processor does not understand serial data. It requires the parallel data to process, right? So in that case, this serial data is first converted into parallel one. Now, where we have this example, so I guess uh, everybody has used the keyboard. So whenever you press a key on the keyboard, it generates a 8-bit or a 16-bit data, 16-bit say code of that particular button, particular switch. Okay, push to on switch. So that particular 8-bit or a 16-bit data is to be given to the processor. So from keyboard will be requiring that 16 wires or 8 wires to reach up to the processor, right? So that this parallel data should be transferred from this keyboard to the processor. But what happens when we convert this parallel data into serial, and when we convert this, send the data to the processor, the data can be given serially. And at the situation where we are having the processor, this data can again be converted into parallel and it can be processed by the processor, right? So this is the example of serial in, serial out. Now, when we have given the data from the keyboard to the processor, that time serially data is taken to the processor CPU, and there it has been converted into parallel, and this parallel data is given to the processor for the further processing. So this is the application of serial in parallel out. Then we are having parallel in serial out. This is where I have told you just now that we are using a keyboard, and in that keyboard, whenever we are able to switch, where we are able to push a button, a code is generated, might be of 8-bit or might be of 16-bit, and that particular code is supposed to be in parallel. Now I want that parallel data to be shifted to the uh, CPU or the processor. In that case, what happens? If for transferring this data, 8-bit data, to the processor, I'll be requiring 8 lines, 8 parallel wires to reach up to the processor. So with the, instead of that, what I can do, I can have a single wire. I can push the data one by one to the on that single line, and that data is supposed to be transferred to the CPU. And in the CPU, we again take that serial data and convert it into parallel to for the processor to process. So this is the another type of a shift register which we call it as parallel in. Again, it is a 8-bit parallel in serial out data shift register. So it is called as parallel in serial out (PISO), PISO, parallel in serial out. So we have studied serial in serial out, serial in parallel out. So third one is parallel in serial out, and last one is parallel in parallel out. So the data is being given parallelly, and the data is also taken parallelly as we store the data in semiconductor memories, right? So in the computer itself, RAM or anything. So the data is stored in the parallel fashion. Similarly, when we want to process that data, we expect or the processor expect that data should come in parallel. So there we require this type of a shift register, which we call it as the parallel in parallel out (PIPO). So we have studied the concepts of uh, all the four shift registers where we have serial in, serial out, parallel in parallel, serial in parallel out, serial parallel in serial out, and lastly we are having parallel in parallel out. Right. So CISO, CIPO, PISO, and PIPO. PIPO, right? Parallel in parallel out. Okay. So these are the basic concepts of the shift registers that we have. Now let us study how the serial in and shift register works. Accordingly, you'll understand what I was actually expecting to tell you. Now, here, as you are able to see, we are having four flip flops. They are basically D flip flops, which we call it as data flip flop. It is having only one input. And this is the basic circuit diagram that we are having. So, if you are able to see here, the clocks are given simultaneously to all the flip flops at a time. So, all the flip flops are given the same clock pulse, right? So, this is one of the thing which is essential for that, means that all the flip flops are going to work synchronously, and therefore this is called as a synchronous shift register. Why? Because it is having a same clock pulse which is given to the all the flip flops at a time, and all the flip flops are going to work. Right. So this clock is being connected to all the flip flops, the four flip flops over here. The clear terminal that is over here, which is active low. So this terminal is taken out and escape for what for to make clear all the data inside the flip flop. So as soon as you give a low over here, this data will be cleared. The data on the flip flops, which was earlier at the initial stage, the data which was there in the flip flops is being cleared. Now let us see that. So note the use of D flip flops, clock inputs wired in parallel. Then we are having a clear terminal. Clear inputs can be activated with low or disabled with high. Preset PS inputs deactivated. Now PS, that is preset input, is being deactivated. So we are not going to use preset or preset terminal. All the preset terminals are made common and they are given high so that they are deactivated. So this one is the first concept. We are using D flip flops. The clock is given simultaneously to all the flip flops, and clear terminal is made common and taken out. We can use this clear terminal. If you put low on this clear, all the flip flops will be clear, and then if you take it to high potential or say high, then this clear terminal will also be deactivated. Similarly, now these are the parallel data which are in the nomenclature like A, B, C, and D. So these four are supposed to be the output of that. So we are having the parallel outputs over here, right? So we can take the parallel outputs across that. Then here we are on this left hand side, we are having the inputs which are given to that. So we are having this first line as data written over here. Then the second one is the clock, and the fourth one is clear. Now all the three are having their own significance. This data is supposed to be the data which I want to be the input to the shift registers. So that is given to the first flip flop, and simultaneously as the clock pulses goes, this data is going to shift from this to this, then this to this flip flop, and the other flip flop. So accordingly, this is the shifting of data bit by bit according to the clock pulses with the clock pulses, right? So this is the first thing that we need to do. Clear input. So as soon as the active clear input is given low, that is zero, then all the data which was initially present as soon as we switched on the this shift register, that something data will be garbage data will be there. So that data should be clear, and for that we have to give a very small low pulse to it. As soon as you go give a small low pulse, automatically all the data is being cleared. All the flip flops, the data of the flip flops are being cleared out. So this is the first concept. Then clock input positive edge. So it is working on the positive edge. I guess it is not bubbled. Uh, so that's why it is going to work on the positive edge, right? So the first data we are having. Let us see how it is going to work. So as I showed you, yeah, this one was that we are having the data. Okay, data clock pulse and clear. As soon as we are having that, then the outputs are cleared over here. Let us start giving the inputs. So this is a very wonderful animation where you can actually experience how the data is being shifted. So the first data I'm giving data one, then clock one and clear as one as well. So we are having this. So clock pulse two. As soon as we are having a clock pulse, we are given data this equal to one. So automatically what happens? The one is given when it comes out of the flush flip flop, and the A output A becomes one. Second time, when we give another data, that is this data is again one, then what happens in the second clock pulse? This data one is being shifted to B, and the data which was we have given now is came across the flip flop A. So now the data is 1100. So this was cleared earlier, and the data is shifting. Third pulse, again now we have given zero over here. So as soon as the third clock pulse goes low, goes high, sorry, it is positive edge, so goes high, automatically the data shifts. So 0 to 1, 1 to 1. So now this 0 is being shifted to A. A was having 1 earlier, then it is shifted to B, and B was having 1, that is shifted to C. There is no data which is going to shift in D because earlier it was 0, right? So 0 is shifting over here. Last, we are having this 0, and if you give again a 0, now what happens? The data changes from 0011, and this is where we are having this pulses. So I've given another clock, so we are having this fourth now. Then I've shifted again 1, so it is changed. Similarly, as you go keep on moving, so all the 4-bit data is being taken out at the flip flop B, at the output of last flip flop, that is D, and the 4-bit serially parallel out shift register. We call it as the right shift register also. So the data is being shifted from the left to right, and I guess you have understood how the data is being shifted. So these are again the flip flops. We just need to shift the data. This is called as serial in, serial out, right? So serial in, serial out. Similarly, we can have a serial in, parallel out also. So the same circuit can be used for both. Okay. So parallel data, for the parallel data, what we require, again the circuit is supposed to be same, and I guess it is written. Uh, okay. Parallel load shift register. So we are having this parallel load shift register over here. Uh, yeah, on this. Then We are using over here JK flip flops, and if you are able to see, we have just connected the output or the input of the first flip flop to the output of the last flip flop. Similarly, the complement output of the last flip flop is connected to the first input of K flip flop, right? So we are again using the four flip flops. The clock pulses are as it is. They are connected simultaneously to all the flip flops so that they are going to work on the same clock pulse. Clear terminal is again made common, whereas the preset terminal over here are being taken out, right? So these preset terminals are taken out. Sorry, this is not. These are not the preset terminals. These are actually the uh, yeah. So these are the preset terminals. Yeah, we can input the data like that, and these are the outputs A, B, C, D over here. So on the right hand side, A, B, C, D. These are the outputs which are taken out over here, and these are the inputs that we are supposed to give to this flip flop. So these are parallel input and parallel data. Let us see. So, yeah, so these are circulating. Note the circulating lines. Now, this is called as the ring counter, where the data is being given and they are being circulated, right? So, this is called as a ring counter. Yeah, and this data is being again fed back to J, and the complement of last flip flop is given to K. So accordingly, we are having a circulating lines, and this data pass the data from FFD to FFA uh, on each clock pulse. So this data is being shifted again in circular fashion. This is nothing but the ring counter, right? And these are the outputs over here in the order A, B, C, D. Then these are the parallel data inputs, which are active low. Now, each are active low. Remember this, whenever we need to send the data, we can use the preset terminal to set or reset the data. Yeah, similarly, we can use the clear terminal. If you supply low to this clear terminal, all the data of the output, sorry, will be cleared over here, right? So this clear and preset terminals are basically used. This preset terminal is used to input the data which can be initially fed, so that the data is parallel. Now, how it works? These are active low. So as soon as the clock goes from high to low, now these are negative edge triggers. As you are able to see over here, these are the bubbles are there on this clock, which implies that they are negative edge trigger. Negative means whenever we are having a falling edge, it starts from high to low. If it starts from high to low, then only this flip flops are going to work, which we call it as JKMS flip flop, right? So JKMS flip flops are used. These are active loads. Let us start. So clear input, active low. As soon as we give clear input low, the output of all the flip flops will become zero. Okay, right. So this was the circuit diagram for the parallel load. Then let us start the ring counter and the Johnson counter. So see, the same circuit is being used. So as soon as the first data is there, see, this is the first data that we are having. So as soon as we have given a clear over here, uh, there is a data in that. Wait. Yeah. So the first is this. Parallel data inputs are given to there, and initially we are having this 0011 coming out of the output of all the flip flops. So the first initial stage is 0011, which implies that we have input the data initially by using this preset terminal. So we have given this low 00, so that the the output of this two flip flops will become high, whereas we have applied 1 1 over here, so the output of the first and the second flip flop will remain to 0. Okay, so the next initial stage will be 0011 at the output of this. So ABCD will have 0011. Now let us start. So as you have given again 0, then the data is being shifted. So 100 comes over there, and again this low we have given. So this data is again shifted 1100. Then we have again activate low. So we are having 011, and similarly the data can be given parallel. So as you shift on data, the parallel data goes on moving, right? Likewise. So this is called as parallel in, parallel out, or the ring counter. Okay, now these are some of the ICs which are there available in the market. We won't go in depth of that, but these are already available. We know we did not make to have the flip flop separate. We have everything given inside this. This is a 74194 IC. We call it as universal 4-bit shift register IC, which have hold, parallel load, shift right and shift left, and active low clear, input overrides, all others. So we are having all the characteristics which we require in this. So this is the IC 74194, right? And these are the outputs. These are the mode controls where we need to control S0 and S1, which controls the status of the shift, whether it is right shift or left shift, right? And this is the clock input over here, very small. Will trigger from again uh, L to H, low to high. Then this parallel data, if you want to give the parallel data, so these lines, these four lines are there to give the parallel input data to this IC. Then this is a clear terminal, and this is the serial R input. So we can also give the serial input. So it is having everything. We can have a serial input, serial output data. We can have say parallel in, parallel output data. Everything we can have in this particular IC. We need not to make anything. So serial data left input used during serial load left mode operation. Whenever we use the serial left input, so the data is being shifted left. If you want right, then we are shifting the data to the right. Okay, so using this, what we can have, let us see. So as you are able to see, these are some of the data which we are applying to the IC. Yeah, this is the number one, and there we are. Therefore, we are having this output. Then we are having this. So as you go on giving the data, the data will change accordingly in that IC. So this is parallel in, parallel out, in, serial out, and all sorts of data that is given. So as you go on changing, there will be change in the output A, B, C, D. Right. Yeah, so this was one of the example which we are call it as the digital roulette game, where you are able to see that this game is having a ring. So this is a pulse which we need to shift in over there, right? So according to that, we can have this game, and as you switch on, this will shift to 1 and 0. This one is going to shift, right? Likewise, so this is shifting. You are able to see this one. This is shifting, and this is due to the shift register that we are using, right? So this is the display, and this is for an initialization. This is 8-bit ring counter. We call it as a shift register, just a ring counter. Okay, and then yeah, so simple troubleshooting we are having. But before going to that, I guess we can have a look at this ring counter. So this is the ring counter that we have. And here you are able to see that the output of the last flip-flop D is connected to the J of the first flip-flop. And similarly, the last complemented output of the flip-flop is being connected to the K input of the first flip-flop. Right? So this is called as a ring counter or a recirculating shift register. Now, if you want to twist it, if I give the complement of the last flip flop, the complement output of the last flip flop to J, and the direct output, that is Q, of the last flip flop is connected to K, then what happens? That particular circuit all remains same. Then that particular circuit will be called as the Johnson's count. So it is actually used. The application of Johnson counter is for, sorry, to provide delay. Okay, so this is the recirculating or a ring counter or a Johnson counter. So this is a ring counter, and if you switch the outputs Q and Q bar, change the output as Q and Q bar, then we are having the Johnson counter. This is what we have studied already. So this is the IC, yeah, and these are some of the examples, yeah, where we have to study how it works. So this is shifting. This is the game that we are having. And these are some of the hints where we require for troubleshooting. Fill top of IC to determine it is hot or not. Even if when you use this IC, you should know how you are using that IC. So if it is feeling hot, if you touch on the top, if it is hot, then it is having a load, right? Look for broken connection, signs of excessive heat. So if you have any broken connection, if the wire shielding is open somewhere, uh, say use it very properly. Smell for overheating. You can sense the smell. You smell on the IC if it is heating or if it is burning. Then there is a pungent smell which can be sensed by our nose. And then check the power supply. You can always check the power supply. Power supply is the main energy source which we are supposed to give. And as soon as we feel some, say, abnormalities in the working of that circuit, then we could go through this troubleshooting things. So trace path of logic through the circuit. So we need to go through all the paths uh, due to which we are having this trouble. Then we are having the normal operation of the circuit. We should understand how it is going to work. Unless and until we are having the theoretical portion of any of the circuit, we won't be able to justify the practical of it. So we need to understand the basics of that. So these are some of the examples of shift register. I guess you have understood in just very short duration of time. I have tried to explain you all the shift registers, and I was actually expecting to make you understand that what are the basic operation mode of the shift register, right? So we have studied all types of shift register: serial in, serial out, serial in, parallel out, parallel in, parallel out, and parallel in, serial out. So we have studied all types, the concept of all the types. The circuit remains the same. I have also given you the example of serial in and serial out, where we have studied the data is being given serially and the output is also taken serially, right? So that is what I have explained you the basics of all the shift registers over there. Then we have also tried to study the shift register IC, that is 74194, uh, which is actually having all types of characteristics: serial in, serial out, serial in, parallel out, serial parallel in, parallel serial out, and parallel in, parallel. So all types of characteristics can be achieved by using the same IC. We call it as the, say, that shift register IC. Okay, right. So I guess everything is taught to you. If you have any questions, you can ask me on that. I will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much for joining the class, and I will be uploading more videos on my YouTube channel. Please go through my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and share my videos. And please make some comment if you like it. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for viewing my videos. Have a nice time. Have a good time. Stay home, stay safe, take care. See you in the next class. Bye. Good day.